Hey everyone, so this iBUYPOWER Element Pro gaming PC has been popping up everywhere lately. Everyone's talking about it, and honestly, after digging into the specs and seeing it in action, I get why. It's not just another flashy pre-built, this thing actually packs some serious power under the hood, especially if you're into gaming or even content creation. I decided to cover it because a lot of you have been asking about high-end pre-built rigs that don't break the bank, and this one seems to fit the bill. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the processor is an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. Now, if you're into PC gaming, you know the X3D series is a big deal. It's all about that 3D V-cache for better performance in games. I ran a few titles like Cyberpunk 2077 and Call of Duty on this thing, and the frame rates were smooth even at 1440p. I didn't have to tweak anything. It just handled it. That's a huge plus if you're not looking to spend hours in BIOS or messing with settings. Then there's the GPU, an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070Ti with 16GB of VRAM. That's a lot of memory for the price, and it shows when you're running high-res textures or streaming. I tried out some newer games like Alan Wake 2 with ray tracing on, and it didn't skip a beat. The 16GB buffer means you can keep those settings maxed out without worrying about stuttering or crashes. Plus, if you're into content creation, the GPU handles video editing and rendering way faster than I expected. I exported a 10-minute 4K video in under 10 minutes, which is pretty impressive for a pre-built. The RAM is 32GB of DDR5 RGB running at 5200 MHz. Now, I know some of you might think that's overkill, but if you're multitasking, like gaming while running OBS, Discord, and a few Chrome tabs, this thing doesn't blink. I had Chrome open with 20 tabs, Spotify running, and a game in the background, and the system stayed responsive. The RGB is a nice touch too, if you're into that aesthetic. It's not just for show, it actually adds a little flair to your setup without being too distracting. Storage is a 2TB SSD, which is plenty for most people. I've got a ton of games installed, and I still have room for more. The SSD is fast too, boot times are under 10 seconds, and game load times are minimal. If you're coming from an older rig with a spinning hard drive, this is going to feel like a whole new world. No more waiting around for things to load. One thing I really like about this PC is the included gaming keyboard and mouse. They're not high-end, but they're solid for the price. The keyboard has RGB backlighting and decent key travel, so it's comfortable for long gaming sessions. The mouse is lightweight and has a good grip, which is great if you're into fast-paced shooters. It's not going to replace a $150 Logitech, but for a freebie with the PC, it's a nice addition. Now, let's talk connectivity. It's got all the ports you'd expect: USB 3.2, USB-C, HDMI, DisplayPort, but what stood out to me was the Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2. I tested the Wi-Fi by streaming a 4K video while downloading a large file, and there was no lag or buffering. That's a big deal if you're not using Ethernet. The Bluetooth is handy for wireless headsets or controllers too. The case is sleek and has good airflow. I ran a stress test for about 30 minutes, and the temps stayed in the low 70s for the CPU and GPU. That's pretty good for a pre-built, especially one that's not water-cooled. The RGB fans add a nice touch without being over the top, and the tempered glass side panel lets you show off your build. So, what are the pros and cons here? On the plus side, the performance is top-notch for the price, especially with the Ryzen 7 and RTX 5070Ti combo. The included peripherals are a nice bonus, and the connectivity is solid. On the downside, the case isn't the most premium out there. It's functional, but if you're looking for something with a little more build quality, you might want to upgrade later. Also, the RGB software is a bit basic, so if you're picky about lighting effects, you might want to look into third-party tools. Overall, this iBUYPOWER Element Pro gaming PC is a great option if you want a high-performance rig without the hassle of building one yourself. It's got everything you need to jump into gaming or content creation right away, and the specs are impressive for the price. If you're in the market for a pre-built, this one's definitely worth considering. Check it out using the link below if it sounds like the right fit for you.